you guys? This is Haley here from Haley Tries It, and if you saw my video / rant from my other channel, then you guys kind of know what this is. But today we are going to be trying out / testing / reviewing the Wolverine film to digital movie maker. Now, if you don't know exactly what this retails for about 300 bucks. It's pretty much the same anywhere, Amazon, eBay, B&H, anywhere that I looked, it was about 300 bucks. So do not buy it for more than that if you do end up getting this product. This is a Amazon Prime product as well, just an FYI. So what this actually does is it takes your old movie film that you have and it digitizes it into something that you can actually watch. So currently right now I do work at a video store and we do actually do this service through the store. And it's actually pretty expensive to get it done. If you didn't know, let me pull something real fast. For all you people who barely know what movie film is, this is a roll of movie film. This is about 50 feet or 3.5 minutes. For you to get one of these done, you're looking at about probably 40 bucks. 3.5 minutes worth of video, that's gonna cost you 40 bucks to get it done. So if you have a lot of these, like my grandma did, and when we went through, when my grandfather passed, we went through and we found all of these, and I was hoping to get these done for Christmas. And I didn't end up getting them done for Christmas, so now I'm hoping to get them done for this Christmas, and this machine I'm hoping is going to help us out. So I actually have it unboxed and everything. You do not need any other, you need only one other item for this machine to work that it does not come with, and that is an SD card. Any kind of SD card up to 32 gigabytes, it will read in this machine. So the first thing you do get, obviously, is this machine. You do get a take-up reel for people who actually know what that is. You get a power adapter for AC power, that's how it runs. You get a USB cord to, it said file transfer, but I could never get that to fully work very well file transfer wise. And then you do get an AC cord or an RCA cord without the audio, whatever you want to call it, if you do want to watch these on your TV and you don't have a way to plug in like an SD card, you can watch it through here. So I saw a lot of reviews and I saw a lot of bit of everything before I actually tried this out. The one thing I did see online, which is kind of sucks about it, is most 99.9% of 8mm film was shot in 16 frames a second. If you have no idea what that is, then please click away from this video. But so these are usually shot 16 frames a second, but when it does the video, it does 30 frames a second. So you're gonna have to be able to put this into an editing software and put it down to 16 frames a second. That's the one con that I've seen that everybody agreed on across the board. This does say it records in 720, which for 8mm film is really, really good. It's gonna be hard for you to get 1080 or HD or even 4K out of your film. You can up-res it, but the quality is not going to get any better. So we're going to plug this bad boy in. We're going to run a thing of film through it, and we're going to see exactly how it runs. It does come with everything. It does come with these two, which are adapters. So what this machine does, it actually does 8mm film and Super 8 film. And the easiest way to figure out which one is which, and they have a little diagram in here in their booklet, which does really help, is Super 8 film, your sprocket holes are going to be in the center of your frame, and 8mm film is they're going to be in the center of 2 frames. That's to know the difference. If you do set the machine to the wrong setting, it will not function, and I kind of learned that the hard way. So pretty much, I'm going to plug this bad boy in behind me, and then we're going to put in the SD card. The SD card does slide into the back where it has the video out and etc. So we're going to click it in, and then we're going to turn it on, which there's a power button here in the front. So it just says the name, and you see it kind of start to move. It does have the settings here on the front if you want 8mm or Super 8. This, let me look at it real fast. Super 8mm, so we're going to switch this over, and you're going to see everything move just a tiny bit more. With these Super 8s, that's when you need these adapter little sprocket hole thingies. If you have regular 8mm, you won't need them, but you will for your Super 8. So what you do is the red always goes on the red sprocket hole, and the silver always goes, or the gray always goes on the gray-silver sprocket hole. So this just slides on, no big deal. And then this just slides on as well. I have been messing with the machine for the last couple days, and I've learned some tips and tricks with it. So it's not as much of a new thing. Pretty much you just take your film and you feed it through with the lines that it shows on here. And so then you're going to bring it over here, and the easiest way to do this is to keep tension on your reel side. So you're going to get to this part, open it, and then you're going to want to make sure you feed this underneath the white. I wish you guys could see this just a little better. Underneath the white things, and this is when keeping it tight is really helpful. Just keep it underneath the white little things, close it, I don't know what else to call them, and then this is going to be one of the hardest things you ever do. You're going to take your take-up reel, which does come with it, and it is plastic, and you can buy more of these, and then you're going to feed it through the lines it has here. Now, another thing I did see that some people were pretty upset with this machine / didn't like it / whatever you want to call it, is you can only do up to 200 foot reels. So this is a 200 foot reel. This is the size of a 400 foot reel, so this is not going to work very easily on your machine. So you're going to feed this in, and it's a lot harder than you think it would be. And I kind of make sure and hand reel over the opening so then there is some snugness to it, and make sure everything is still wound through. I'm going to put it on here. It should click on there. Pull it tight. Now the one thing is you do have to set your beginning frame. So your white on the end of your 8mm, if you guys are new to this or you found grandma and grandpa's or great grandma and grandpa's, is just the beginning. So you can just physically turn this and it's going to pull from the other side. And you want to line up your first frame on here. So don't have this on backwards. I have the entire reel on backwards. No wonder it was so funny. Alright, so I'm not going to redo this because I'm an idiot. So you're going to line up your first frame. You're going to hit enter, and it's going to say, make sure you have it on the right side. We've got ours on the Super 8 film. And you're going to hit enter again. And it should start to go. Oh look, there's my grandfather. So how this machine actually does record these is it takes a single photo of each frame, which is going to be the best way of getting high quality off of your 8mm film, is it's going to do single photo of each frame and then it's going to put them together into an MOV file. So you do not have access to these individual frame photos, which I wish could be a function on here, is like each photo it does take, I wish you could have access to. But you can't. So, yeah, we're going to let this run. I read online that it does take about 30 minutes for this to do a 50-foot reel. So, I'm going to let this run, and I guess I will be back whenever it wants to be done. Alright, you guys, it's been about 25, 26 minutes. So, this thing is actually almost done. So, what I read online, I do believe that it does take about 30 minutes to do one of these. Is that kind of slow? Yes. Because most of the time when you get them done by professional companies, it's shot in real time into another camera, etc., all that. So I feel like with this you do get a better quality. They do have machines that you will be faster, that do shoot in real time, but I believe it's not as good of quality. So I'm actually going to wait for this to end. Right now we're at 26 minutes and 32 seconds. So we're going to see if this actually does really take 30 minutes. It might take a little bit more. Maybe it'll take a tiny bit less. I'm not for sure. So we're just going to sit here and we're just going to wait. So also, because I can't sit here that long and not physically talk, one thing I also have noticed running through a couple reels through this before, just trying to figure out the bugs and everything, is if it does break, it does not stop. It does not know when to stop. So this is something that you're probably going to have to watch. You can't just leave this because it's going to keep going for like 8 hours. Yeah, you can't just leave this and just go somewhere. So about 30 minutes, I just set a timer so we would know when it would end. I did like step out of the room, go did the dishes and some other things. So it's not that bad of a time wise. Just set a timer, come back, check on it. If it's not done, then just keep going with your stuff. So right now we're actually at 28 minutes and 34 seconds and I am seeing the end of the film. It will go all the way until you stop it, and when you hit stop, it does say in the manual it will wait about 2 to 3 seconds before actually stopping how it wants to run. So it's about to kick off with the other reel, and it's going to keep going, and I let it go through the entire reel until it's all on this side. So pros and cons. cons, I wish it would do 1080, but 720 out of 8mm film isn't that bad. Your film will be grainy depending on when it was shot. That's just how it is. There's no audio on this. It is nothing. You don't have room audio. Some people don't like hearing this clicking noise. But that does kind of, see how it's just going to keep going even though it ran out. So we're going to hit enter, which is the stop start. Some people don't like hearing that clicking noise. Some people do. It brings them back to the time where they did this. But yeah, so it's completely silent, so you can edit music on there or whatever. This does not record 8mm or Super 8 that does have audio on it, which is unfortunate. So if your Super 8 or your 8mm does have audio on it, then you're kind of screwed. So this took about 29 minutes and about 29 and a half minutes, so about 30 minutes right on the dot, depending on how full your 50mm is or your 50 feet is. If it was completely full, it'd probably be 30 minutes on the dot. The easiest way is, obviously it's all on here and it's backwards. The easiest way actually is to kind of just play it backwards. So what they suggest you do, which is why you have this adapter as well. You want to put this one on here, exactly how it goes. Then you gotta take your adapter off of this one. This is the hardest part to figure out, was like with the adapters and everything. So I just suggest, if you do have a machine or you're thinking about getting a machine, just going and testing this out and just figuring out what's gonna be right for you. Clicking this on here, you want to follow your lines again, but with this one, do not put it in this little tray thing. Don't put it in there. That's what they suggest you do in the book. Just line it up over here, do this kind of jazz, and then you want to stick it in your hole for your 8mm. So the easiest way to rewind this, of course, is you want to go to your menu or your mode, and you're gonna go down to rewind, and it's gonna say you must move your light table, then swap them with reels, etc. That's how it's telling you. It kind of gives you a little bit, but the book, the manual is a lot easier to understand than these. Just hit go, and this is what it's gonna do. It just kind of plays, but it plays a lot faster, and it's not recording. So putting it through the little thing isn't gonna help at all. It'd probably actually ruin your film. So I suggest don't do that. So the one thing with rewinding, of course, it isn't that fast. 8mm machines are a lot faster to rewind through, and it's pretty loud, as you can hear. And one thing is, I've noticed, when most of the film gets over to your regular spindle, it does kind of slow down, and I believe that could be due to weight. So I kind of just help it along. So I'll just kind of move it just a little bit. When it gets more rewound, you'll be able to tell, because it's a huge change in speed. I'd say this thing probably does take about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes to rewind a 50-foot reel. Of course, all these, if you do have a 200-foot reel, it's going to be times by 4. So you'll just hit enter again. It's going to stop. Let's pull this off. And that is it. So that's all you need this machine for. If you want to get something to kind of keep everything together, I suggest maybe getting a baggie to keep your adapters in. Keeping this away from cats. I did learn that the hard way. There you can play back through here as well, which I have not had very good results on, because I hit playback and it says no file. But it just made the file itself. So I'm not for sure. Playback on this thing is kind of iffy. But you want to turn it off, and you want to click out the SD card. You cannot rewind your film with the SD card out. It will not let you. So you want to click in, and then click out, and it'll pop out, and you can grab it. Take this to any computer that can read it. This is Mac, PC, Linux, whatever, compatible. It's compatible with everything. And you can watch your video. It is still in 30 frames a second, so you will have to downgrade that to 16 frames a second, however you want to. The way I do it actually is I take it into Premiere and I slow the speed down to 60% instead. Another way you can also do this, if you want to, is set up a project, make it 16 frames a second, and then drag this into that project and ask if you want to change the settings, hit no, and there it goes. It'll change itself to 16 frames a second. But yeah, so that's actually all I have for you guys. Overall on this machine, I believe that it's going to be really, really good for my family. We have so much, and I did calculate how much it would cost for Ethan and I to do our film at a professional studio, or even at my work with a discount. It's going to cost us over $800. My grandparents had a lot of film. So that's with a discount, with my employee discount. So being able to get a machine that is $300, being able to do it ourselves, being able to mess with the file ourselves is really good. If you are really techie or you know a lot about video, this is going to be great. You're going to be able to mess with this. You can fix the colors, you can change the exposure, the brightness, and the adjustments on here as you go, or you can just do it in Premiere, whatever you choose to do. But if you do have a lot of film and it is going to cost you more than $300 to do, I suggest getting this machine. It's super easy to run. Once you do it once, you're like, this makes sense. So yeah, that's my final thoughts on it. The one con I do have, I wish I didn't have to go back into Premiere and change this to 16 frames a second. Since most of this film was done that, and this is just for that, I don't see why it does 30. I do because, well, I do and I don't. I do now because most things are shot 30 frames a second nowadays, but back then they weren't. They were shot at 16. So why? I don't know. But yeah, so that's actually all I have for you. I suggest it's a great machine. I'll have a link down below. They did not send me this machine. I did buy this with my own money. I'm not being biased or anything. This is the first machine that I've seen that is super affordable, that you can do this yourself, that you get the physical files, so it's not just put on a DVD. You can put this in your computer. You can upload them to Facebook, Instagram, wherever, YouTube if you want to, and you can share these with your friends, your family across the nation. You don't have to mess with it. And if you do want it burned onto a DVD, you can do that very easily with a bunch of free programs online. But yeah, that's actually all I have for you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave those down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my main channel where I do a bunch of ways on how to save money, how to coupon, etc. Some reviews will stay over there as well, but most of the reviews will be on this second channel. But yeah, my name's Haley, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!